Hello, this is J.N.S. Happy Friday. I hope you guys are having a great day and that you had a great week as well. And so, as per usual, we are doing our weekly tarot and we're starting with the review of last week, as we always do. And so, we said it was going to be quite a bit of things that could occur uh, from the period of September 20th through September uh, 27th. And so we want to do a review to go over those things and see what edification we can take from it, see how we can apply it, and to get more context and understanding of what's going on in terms of the energy that's surrounding us. And so it's been busy. I know you guys saw it. I know you guys saw many things, many shakeups. We said it would be sudden upheaval and crisis with a third party or three people or three countries or an alliance or institutions. We said there would be more major resignations. Then we said it would be a shakeup for greater growth and expansion of consciousness of the entire planet. And so we're going to review that. And we also mentioned that we may see like a pressure or a reorganizing to make sure that goals and actions are in alignment. And the systems in terms of our military and our intelligence, as well as like things relating to travel. We mentioned that there would be some travel delays and a female resigning potentially. And so we want to definitely do a review because everything came to pass. And so let me pull up. I want to make sure that I got all of the things that I want to cover. For the most part, I do, but I want to make sure that it's all in alignment. But yes, let's start the review of last week. So what you see on your screen now is last week's reading, which was on September 20th. And so you're going to see me say, it looks like there's going to be some drama next week. I ain't going to hold you. It looks like it's going to be some drama next week. And then we start into the reading. And so let's do that now. Oh, this and no, you got it now. Okay, so what's the energy for next week? What's the energy for next week? What's going to happen next week? What's going to happen next week? Ooh, okay. Not too bad, but it's not the worst either. So let's see here. It's not the worst, but it's not the best. I'll say that. It's not the worst, but it's not the best. And we may see some drama. We may see some drama this week. We may see some drama. I ain't gonna hold you. Okay, so this is next week's spread. And remember, today's the 20th. And so what's going to be next Friday? So the 27th. So from the end of this video, when it's published and posted, with timestamp, that will be, I'll share it on my Twitter page to just save the timestamp. And then that will be until the 27th. Okay, 27th of September. But look, guys, you see the spread in front of you. Am I sharing it? I'm sure I'm sharing. Okay. I have to say, we're looking at something that there can be like a sudden upheaval, a sudden crisis, sudden upheaval. This could relate to an alliance of three or something with three. This could be three people, three institutions, or three. Oh man, let me write this stuff down. Actually, wow. Okay, let's see, quick. Sudden upheaval, or crisis with third party. I'll say third party, or three. Something with three comes up. This could be three people, three countries, an alliance, or three institutions. Three. This could be even resignations. Sorry, guys. That just helps me connect better to the universe. Resignations. What is? Yeah, we're looking, but for the better. Like whatever this energy is. So let's pause because there was definitely. I want to actually rewind it just to confirm. In front of you, am I sharing? I'm gonna make sure I'm sharing. Okay. I have to say, we're looking at something that there can be like a sudden upheaval, a sudden crisis, okay, so you guys saw that. And so there was many things that took place this week as it relates to like sudden upheaval, sudden crisis. I don't even know where to start. Let's see which one would be more relevant, because there was like explosives. It was just the most this week. And unfortunately, this is just one of those weeks, where the energy was just so palpable. But I do have to say, on September 23rd, U.S. lawmakers had planned for possible mass casualty event, proposing a constitutional amendment to replace members quickly and change various lines of succession in a national crisis. So there's some planning around, the upcoming months regarding speculation of what could possibly take place in lieu of what we do in November. And I am being careful with my words, but yeah, it's going to get real. We talk about national crisis, but check this out. Because we specifically mentioned like, this three thing, like with this three institutions or alliances or people or whatnot. And so it was harder to find like that triangulation, but I would say one of these events were probably relevant to more of the three thing that I kept seeing. But look at this. This is an FBI whistleblower that says the agency is out of control. Now, later on in the video, you're going to hear me mention that there's disorganization and there's pressure to reorganize to make sure that goals and actions are in alignment in the intelligence. You're going to hear me say that. I probably should have saved this for that, to be honest. And but here's the thing: he was urging Americans to vote, to arm themselves, to stock up on food, and to pray. Now, I want to see if I could find this specific video, because actually on September, this is interesting because this is in lieu of something larger that I had saw going on. So this was September 26th, as you can see. But check this out. I had said on September 17th that more whistleblowers would come forward. This is actually the second one. The other one was in Secret Service. I don't know if you guys knew that. This one came forward on September 20th. Let's see if we get a timestamp. It was at 3:49. I believe that is after this video as well, the last week's video as well. There's a timestamp on Twitter that will confirm that. But yeah, this was the first whistleblower that came forward. So we mentioned that on December 17th there would be whistleblowers. But what's interesting is I want to see if I can specifically play what that whistleblower said. Here we go, right here. So it was only a minute long. Now, he was a whistleblower. I don't know the context of what was going on, but he specifically is speaking in, I wouldn't say he's speaking in code, but he's speaking in a way that Americans can understand. But me as a high priestess, I can see that that we knew that there was some disorganization going on. And actually, I'll share it with you. Let's go back up here. Look at this. This was published September 17th. It says, I hear you. It's a controlled demolition of the old system, which means there is a literal war in each faction within the DOJ, FBI, Pentagon, and CIA. We have some who are on our side and others who want to keep the corrupt system. So, but you are right. We need more whistleblowers, which we will make happen. So this was published on September 17th by me. I wrote this. September 20th, we get first whistleblower from the Secret Service, and then on September 26th, we get the second whistleblower. Now let's play, so you can just see, because this relates, even though we did our tarot reading on September 20th, it still is crossing over as far as the stuff I was feeling. And again, it's more so of the energy. Like I just kept feeling, uh, just this. I just kept feeling hooray. Like it just, from my perspective, it's hard to explain, but because it's not like I was remote viewing or anything. It was just more so like I could feel the best explanation for this, and maybe this is not going to resonate with you listening, but the best explanation is that it felt like there were children just running amok in a house. You know how you have just you say you're sleeping upstairs as a parent. If you're, maybe you can relate to this. You're sleeping upstairs as a parent, or in a room as a parent, and you could feel. You could hear your children just bumping and thumping all over the place, throwing shit all over the place. You could just see them just cutting up. You could just feel them cutting up. But you know what I mean? And so that's what I have been feeling that whole week. Starting since December 17th. I have been feeling that whole week. Like there's a muck. There's stuff going amok. And so you're going to hear me say in this video that I felt this organization, we're going to go through that. But let's hear what Homeboy had to say. Sorry about that. Let's see what he had to say. Because it's only a minute long.
Vote.
So again, this is more this presentation of the way he spoke was a little matrixy for me. I have to say, a little too 3D, but I still understand what he's trying. I mean, again, we're talking about millions and millions of people who may not understand the things that we know and the way that we know it in terms of the explanations of what's going on. And so he did it very succinctly, under a minute. And people, his name is Marcus Allen. People should take heed now. The vote thing and all these things about the religious aspect on it. I have my take on it, but I think that what he's doing suffices in terms of trying to get people to prepare. And I'll just say that. So let's see what he had to say.
To the American people, you have a duty as a citizen to vote, and I strongly urge you to do so. It's how you participate in the American experience. I know people have doubts about election integrity, but you must vote. It is your claim. And don't have your voice heard. My other recommendations are in the natural order.
I just had to fast forward that because I don't like to, I'm telling you, this algorithm and the way my channel is already shadow banned, it's when I talk about specific topics relating to what we have to do in November, what's happening in November, it messes my stuff up. These particular tarot videos. Now I do political videos. It's just that I try to kind of curve it or tailor it when it's a tarot video.
First, vote. The second is the Second Amendment. Arm yourself and know how to defend yourself. Make 3 to 4 friends.
That 3 thing. Remember we said the 3 with the alliances or something with institutions, but that came up, the 3, that's interesting, but I think it's more to that, and I'll have to see as we continue the review.
In your neighborhood and promise to come to each other's mutual aid in times of hardship. And during the Great Depression, people stocked up a pantry. So I think that's a good practice, especially in our economic times, and make sure you have 3 to 4 months of.
So here go the 3 to 3 thing again. Now he says a 4 added on there. Let's look at, I just want to look at the spread real quick to see if we see 4 somewhere. No, I don't really see a 4. No. Yeah, I see the 3 though. But yeah, so the 3 to 4 months of food, 3 or 4 people that that y'all will look out for each other, know how to defend yourself. And watch this.
Food. As a person of faith, I'd say pray the rosary.
Yeah, so also have faith. Like if you want to, like on a higher level, this is a really good time to keep your vibration really, really high, working with love and enlightenment and with truth and with integrity. Okay, whatever religion you are, or even if you don't have a religion. But if most of America are Christian, so he's speaking to the majority of presumably what Americans are.
Go to the First Friday devotions. That's for everybody, all my brothers and sisters of all faiths, and I know I'm Catholic. and read the gospel of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and live it every day. To the American people, you have a duty as a citizen.
Okay, so you heard that, and so it's getting real when we talk about like this, this foreboding, this forewarning. That was interesting, but there was a lot more when we talk about like sudden upheaval. Look at this in sudden crisis. Personal information of over 3,000 congregational staffers and workers in DC leaked across the dark web in massive cyber attack. That was September 25th. That's deep. So it was a lot that went on. Now look at this. September 25th. There was an explosive that went off at the Santa Maria courthouse. Okay, so Santa Barbara County Sheriff's deputies are mobilizing rapidly in the area. A suspect has been detained. Other locations are checked for. So, I mean, come on, like it's a lot. And even we see the they planning. The U.S. lawmakers are planning for mass casualty. We see that the whistleblower Marcus Allen gives his warning to the American people. And let's keep going because I know I mentioned let's see if there was anything else here, because we all know what happened with and what's going on in New York City with Eric Adams and his team. There's people. It's not just him that's getting indicted, and so we'll cover that in a bit, because that was also like this sudden upheaval, this sudden crisis in terms of seeing this change of guard, which I told you guys was going to happen 8 months ago, before the Cat Williams video, mind you, on December 31st, 2023, by the way. Also, I emailed a person in July 2023. All this is well documented, like it can be easily confirmed. A person that worked with P. Diddy. I emailed him and said that there was a treaty handed over to a new bloodline, and that we were taking over this dimension, and that to prepare for some changes. The treaty was turned over, and so I know he probably thought it was just, this crazy person. But you see all these things, and in this video, December 31st, 2023, long video. It's a tarot reading for year 2024. I talk about the intelligence agencies. I talk about the exposure of Hollywood. I talk about the exposure of certain things within the CIA. Like it's all there. And so this video shows that. And it's not. I don't keep I'm not trying to take away from the words of Cat Williams or anything. I love Cat Williams. It's more so like it's like there's this concerted effort to completely just wipe me off of this completely shadow ban. It's like this major. It's like a spiritual fight, pretty much like this occult fight. Because there are people that are trying to cover up things, and there are people that are trying to keep a regime, and then there's those of us that we already understand interdimensionally that it's done, it's changed. I was warning people about this since 2022. I mean, not without great trials and tribulations and misunderstandings, even misunderstandings. And so there's a lot of frustration because I know how this system works. Where they'll monitor everything you do, shadow ban you, try to delete you, and then take your work, take your energy, and try to shift it off to someone else, or try to give it to other people that are in their system. And that's what's been happening to me for a very long time, and it's incredibly frustrating. And the amount of jealousy that I feel from this system of fear and the threat. And so I do fight back against that. I'm not saying I'm a victim. I'm not saying, but it's been going on for a very long time, even before I spoke out about certain things, and before I became aware of what was going on with me as a targeted individual. I just didn't, I didn't know what was going on before then, but I became aware in 2022 to an extent. Then I became more fully aware, or more aware rather, not fully aware, but more aware in July of 2023. And I knew for a fact that there was portals open that I had a role in, bringing certain dimensions on this planet I remember when it happened. I called even a friend and said 45D was here. I showed a whole big ass map showing of all the entities that were able to get in here, that were already attached to me, but we had to open up another portal to get literally the 125th dimension down on this planet. And so I knew that there was going to be a major spiritual war. I received phone calls from people, letting me know like they are aware of you and it's wartime. And so it's been a battle, but I do know we're seeing the change of the regime. I warned that person that worked with P. Diddy in July of 2023. And they came after me, of course. Not them, but the system. The system came after me, of course, but I just think they probably thought like there's no way that it's a Black American from Buffalo, New York, like what? Like I think it was just shocking, maybe, and maybe they just was like, well, let's hurry up and try one last stab to try to get rid of this energy. But it's the energy of one where we want fairness for everyone, exposure of the truth, more authentic reality for everyone, and a better experience that is filled with love and enlightenment and joy, and fairness, and balance, wholeness, and integration of the taxonomy or what people would say, you guys would say duality. And so, everything that you're seeing right now, I have been warning people since 2022. There's evidence of this. Some of that evidence is now classified. Some of that evidence has been removed. I still have access to it, but it's not like, say, on my Twitter page or anything anymore. July 2023, I warned people publicly. I sent emails that certain treaties of certain beings and certain bloodlines, their power had been removed, quite forcibly, not by me, but by another entity that turned it over to another bloodline, the bloodlines of my people and me. And so I had said that. I said it's going to be major changes. In this video right here, in December 31st, 2023, already talked about the music industry being shook up. So you got to think of July 2023, I emailed the person that is still defending Diddy, of what was taking place on this dimension. People were laughing me off and writing me off. And so everything has come to pass. I said about this video in particular, I talked about the shakeups within the CIA. Check this out. There was a, let me pull it up for you right here. There was a CIA officer that just got sentenced to 30 years in prison for doing the same thing that P. Diddy did. Okay? And so when we talk about shakeups, we have to remember that it's for a greater expansion of consciousness. It's for a greater expansion and awareness that leads to happier days, pretty much, greater days. Let me look for that person that I'm specifically talking about. Here we go, right here. Look. And so I said 8 months ago, and again, there's a frustration because there was a concerted effort by the system, and particularly the person that works for PPD that I had called out in 2022, to go around and spread this rumor that I'm just some crazy person. And so, with everything coming to pass and we're still circling back around to that person, but we're gonna do a spiritual drive-by eventually to have this all circle back home. Like when I say like everything will make sense in the end. But I wanted people to see how this stuff works in terms of how time lapse can allow you to see. When I say time lapse, I'm talking about like time disappears and you're outside of the whole matrix, the whole even planet, looking at the universe and seeing stuff before stuff plays out. And you come back, mind you, not even you come back, you're in that state, and whatever is in front of you or however you get the message out, you kind of are doing it in a way where you're in two positions of the universe at once, and you don't really have control over, I would say, image management or the rational aspect of the self, where you would say, maybe I should wait on saying that. Maybe I should wait till things play out. It doesn't work that way when it comes to that level of quantum teleportation. And so, I like, oh my God, I'm looking back at, it's not even like time traveling. It's like you're seeing all the events, and you're in a different, you're outside of the 3D for sure, but you're still in a physical flesh. And so, things that I said in July 2023 with people, I know for a fact that they didn't think that it made any sense. And another thing, when we're talking about quantum superpositioning and quantum entanglement and the interdimensionality of the self that every human has attached to them. If you look at my body of work on Esoteric Studies Department at Nakhti University, you'll see what I talk about when I say the interdimensional aspects of the self. And I want you guys to know that every human has this, for one. It's just that most people are not aware of this, but I want to posit that you can be in you can be in two dimensions and have different aspects of yourself in terms of a self that's kind of like tethered, say, in your original dimension or your original mission while you're still in a 3D body. And if that clashes and you go on an inner, like with me, it's like, okay, let me just go an inner, and you kind of lose image management. So I pray every day to make sure that I have control over that, because it's kind of like, you remember the movie Divergent, where they put on them little things on their head, and they're in, like, they realize that they're in a simulation, but their body is like, that's how it's like for certain beings like me. I can't say that's for all humanity. I can't speak like that, and say it's all of us, because that would be quite irresponsible. But I just know for myself that I exist in multiple planes, and there is, I wouldn't say, I would say it's some recognizant stuff going on here. But I also want to say another example would be obviously the Matrix. You guys are all familiar with that, and so that is how you should see the interdimensional self, knowing that you exist in multiple planes, and knowing that you have different octaves of yourself. Again, that requires, coming into awareness of that. And I don't know how. I don't say I necessarily have a blueprint of how to give that experience to another person yet. I do know that for me, I already had ties to different dimensions and planets, and so when it got real, when I got a phone call of a person telling me that seven state attorney generals were, asking about me and all this stuff, and wanting to know what's going on, and then saying that, certain family, bloodlines wanted to get at me. There's something in me activated. Like, it was like my higher self. It wasn't even, it was like something, it wasn't another being or another entity, though I'm very connected and close with God. But it was like, I knew I had to pull down very high level dimensions, at 45D, 125D. GIA, which is from Saturn's, one of the stealth moons of Saturn that you guys won't have access to. NASA hasn't discovered all of the moons of Saturn, by the way. And I had to pull all that down to planet Earth, because I already knew. I said, damn, this is real. Like, this is getting serious. Because it's something I didn't ask for, but something my soul remembered on some level, as far as my soul mission, will you? And so this week, stuff that I said 8 months ago is just now playing out this week. That's the point that you need to know. And it's not important that who said it first, or who I said it, or this makes me this and that. It's just, again, in lieu of people actively trying to damage my reputation and discredit me, I kind of feel like I had to go somewhat overboard with the timestamps and the timelines and the documentations of events to show people like what I had said had merit to it. Just because you didn't understand something, it doesn't mean that a person is crazy just because you don't understand something. And that's and that's an aspect of this planet where I'm kind of like, what kind of shit is this? Because there were people that lied so much, and there were people that held so much secrets, and there was people that were so corrupt, and that level of corruption, I can't understand. I don't understand that level of deception. I don't understand that level of corruption. It was foreign to me. Now, I'm not saying I'm some angel, but that is a vibration, a frequency that is foreign to me. So it freaked me out. And So it angered me, because I'm like, wait a minute, why are you lying to people? Why are y'all hiding stuff? Why are you covering for people? What is going on with your planet? Like, why if something is the truth needs no proof. Like, why, what do you gotta hide? Like, if you're walking in all this secrecy and deception, that means you're doing something you ain't got no business, typically. And yet, if you have like strategies, or you know uh, things, certain missions that you want to take on to help someone, yeah, you may want to keep certain things secret. But like, that's this what I was dealing with, and what I know what the planet and humanity is dealing with, is mass deception to control them, mass deception to brainwash them, to lie, to keep their power, because they are not even the rightful heirs of that power, and they don't even understand the nature of the universe. And so that's me. I also saw that, and I also saw corruption. I saw corruption in 2022. I called that out when P. Diddy started to come into the reputation space and all that stuff. And the person that I had openly called an agent, and that works with him in 2022. Like, I felt the shift in the energy. Everything was going good. I was fine doing my work for Black Americans, everything. And then I'm telling you, I felt that shift in August when they started coming. That's when there was a migration from, me on one media channel going to another, and I felt that shift in the corruption, and then I was able to see it spiritually. And so, if you guys see that hypervigilance in terms of like even the startup of the tarot, the weekly tarot series, the timestamps that I always post of tweets and screenshots and all that stuff, it's because I have to do that. Because yes, I can see things, some things, I'll say I can see some things before they happen. I can feel the energy of certain events before they happen as well. And so sometimes with tools, sometimes without tools. With the whistleblower stuff, I didn't need any tools. I just knew. Like, I won't say I just knew. It's like, sometimes with quantum teleportation, it's like you're looking at information. I already talked to you guys about the qubits and what qubits mean in terms of quantum computing, but also the data that they hold, but the way they're coded as zeros and ones, they're not necessarily zeros and ones anymore. And so, and sometimes I can program it, literally program it. It's not even like it's not even predictive programming. It's like literally script writing at that point. And so this week was heavy for me emotionally, because I'm seeing like heavy duty shit play out that I said was going to take place in July of 2023, but also on December 31st of 2023. And then I see, this concerted effort still for this system to like lock me out, when it's like, no, I am the shadow and the awe. And so like, okay, I'll literally like catapult. You know how you get a boomerang and you like, not the boomerang, what's that? It's like it's the slingshot where you build up some velocity and then you let the slingshot go, and it goes and it crashes into whatever you hit. That's what I have to do with this system, because of the level of corruption and the hatred towards me. And it's like this satanic system, it's like it hates the light. It hates anything that wants to do good. And I feel that energy, and I feel like this energy of, and it's not everybody. It's not, and there's people that are coming around like, you actually have no choice. This wasn't like you had an option. And I think they're just now starting to realize that. Like, this wasn't like, okay, you have a choice to either change the way you're running your systems, or, or whatever. You can continue to do what you want. It's like, that's not the level. We're dealing with Saturnian energy. You're dealing with chaos intelligence, which is melanin and entropy and dark energy. Like, that level of power is the pole of creation. If that energy comes down on this planet, which it has, it's not a matter of, this rebelliousness and this hatred and this disrespect. And it's like, okay, let's crash out, as you guys like to say now. Let's slingshot the energy back and let it go and kind of put it right back on this planet and just, you know. And so, yes, people should pray. Yes, people should be walking in love because it helps us get organized better. It helps us balance this energy out, this uncertainty that people, you know. But I would say though, is have no fear. Whatever else you don't take, whatever else you take from this, have zero fear. Have no fear. People are literally trying to actively create timelines where we revert back into, you know, our old self or the self that was unaware. People are trying to do this to all of us. And so we have to be aware of that. And we must fight back. Not physically, but with the love, with looking out for one another, with put our best foot forward every day. Just put your best foot forward every day with the creativity, with the innovation, whatever passion projects you want to get into, lifting yourself up and loving yourself, embracing yourself as well. If you don't love anything else, you love your soul, you love, you know, and another thing is, in addition to the love for the self, the gratitude, you know, these are the frequencies that we need on this planet at this time. So I wouldn't be so much into the fear mongering. Obviously, you know, if you have some, you know, like the Marcus Allen, he's saying, you know, 3 to 4 months. But I mean, they said it in 2020. I mean, we all over prepared in 2020, and you know, we kind of lived through that. So if we lived through that, you can live through anything. You know what I mean? And so do the best you can. Get you a couple things as you go, and build. You know, don't like I said, don't have any fear though. Don't fear anything. I don't care how much, because they're going to try to revert your energy, especially what we have to do in November, what's coming in November. And so if you put too much stock into this matrix, you are allowing the information of the matrix program your consciousness instead of you taking the information on a universal level and programming the matrix. Okay, that's what the Nakhti philosophy is about on an individual level, though. But I got some shit for you, for the really advanced humans, that will allow you to take that out, even transitory when you leave. You can do it on this planet as well, but for those that wants to build their own universe, to build their own, and that's really high level. But you know, for those that are interested, the people that find me, they'll find me. I don't try to convert anybody. I'm not here to save anybody. I'm not here to, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta follow this, you gotta see it this way, you must do this. That's not my type of energy. I'm not on that type of time. I'm not a man. I'm a woman. So there's an intuitive aspect, a very receptive aspect of my energy, of like the high priestess. You know, it's like you have to come to me. You have to ask questions. If not, then I assume you do whatever you feel you want to do. I'm not that type of teacher. I'm just not. If you ask a question, I'll answer it. I'm not here to convert people. I'm not here to tell people to stop doing what they're doing, except if you're harming people without their consent, violating universal laws of the universe, violating each other. Now that's different. But as far as like what somebody believes, what religion they is, and I'm not here for all of that. Like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, but supplement things. And I would also say rise in consciousness. You got those religions, they are IPUs. You use them to rise in consciousness. Not all of it is making sense. Not all of it makes sense. If you see something that's contradictory, that goes against love, maybe you may not want to follow it. But the basics or the fundamentals of many of the IPUs of the religions, do whatever you've been doing, for sure. But for those that's looking, more for like context, historical context, current context, as well as universal context, then that is what I'm here to provide, and also some structures, some systems, and blueprints and frameworks to facilitate a greater understanding of consciousness and stuff. And I'm saying I'm all there, but I do know that I'm ordained on certain levels to teach certain things, as well as create my own IPU, which is the Nakhti Queen Mothership, the Nakhti Philosophy, the Nakhti University, the Nakhti Community Center, all of these things. And for those who may not know what Nakhti means, it just means power. Nakhti means power. There was a chancellor that gave that information to me. There was literally a chancellor named Nakhti. When I was 20 years old, that gave that to me. Say, hey, in a dream, it says, I like you, not. I want you to study the word. This is what he said. I want you to study words Nakhti, and I want you to study words Heka. Yeah, when I was very young, and so, it's been that for a long time. I've been using the word Nakhti for a very long time. Like I like have like timestamps to prove this. Way before I came out in with this stuff in 2020, I want to say, or maybe a little earlier than that. It's a little earlier than that, yeah. But because I remember like when I was like 22, I wanted to get into different businesses and use Nakhti and all that stuff, and But here we are. Let's continue. Let's definitely continue. Upheaval. This could relate to an alliance of three or something with three. This could be three people, three institutions, or three. Oh man, let me write this stuff down. Actually, wow. Okay, let's see. Quick. Sudden upheaval, or crisis with third party. I'll say third party, or three. But you know what? I just saw where the three could have came from, guys. Look at this. Personal information of over 3,000 congressional staffers and workers in D.C. leaked across the dark web. That was September 25th. I didn't even think about that, but the three, yeah. I think that's where that three could have came from. But let's keep going. Oh, did I share my screen with you guys? See, it's right here. 3,000 congressional staffers and workers in D.C. leaked in massive. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back here. With three comes up. This could be three people, three countries, an alliance, or three institutions. Three. This could be even resignations. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I said there could be resignations. So obviously, there were more resignations this week. Do you remember the guy from Shark Tank? He stepped down too. Let me pull that up. But this is the CEO of Universal Music, the UK chairman, David Joseph. He's stepping down. And this was September 23rd. And he says he's leaving the music business to study religion. Now, remember we said there's a sudden upheaval or this, but it will lead to an expansion of consciousness. And so, I know people they make such great distinctions or even a negative connotation between religion and theology, but I see this as much deeper. Obviously, people say there's a difference between spirituality and religion. Religions are IPUs; they're ideal ideal parallel universes from a specific bloodline that are all related, but decided to come to this dimension and in different regions create their own IPUs. If I'm creating an IPU, the Nakhti philosophy, the Nakhti Queen Mothership, that's an IPU. And so when we talk about like Buddhism or Judaism, Christianity, whatever, however you think about it, if you agree or don't agree, I don't care. I'm not saying go that way. I'm just saying like my bloodline has been coming to this planet to be trained in information data to program our own IPUs. Now it's just for ourselves. If other people like it, other people want to join in, fine. But right now, what we're doing in 2024 is teaching people how to create their own. And so that's how I took it when we see David Joseph say that he's leaving that wicked music business to study religion and theology. Now, if he's going to join a specific religion, I don't know. But he could also be thinking, like, okay, well, how do I learn how to create my own IPU? You know, and you have to start. I have a master's degree in religious studies. So I studied all these religions, every single last one. Even outside of just doing it on the academic level for the master's degree, I had been doing it since I was 18 years old. I've always been spiritual, and so it took all of the knowledge of all of that to build what I'm building now. And again, there's constant roadblocks being thrown in my way by this government, by this system. Things have gotten better, but I'm telling you, for a long time in my life, it was like this system was actively trying to like get rid of me. But it took the study of religion for me to be able to get to this point where I'm at now, with the master's degree in religious studies. And so it's a journey. And so I would say that David Joseph stepping down from Universal Music, in lieu of what happened with P. Diddy, what's happening with the entire music industry, he's starting a journey that would eventually get him to possibly create his own IP, or follow someone else's, or leave it all alone together. You never know. But that's what's important to take from that. I know we mentioned that a female could resign too. I don't know if we got to that point yet, but I want to share this because, again, there was multiple CEO resignations again this week. So I don't know if you guys had saw this. This was September 23rd, sorry. So it says, there sure are a lot. Oh, sorry, I always do that. There sure are a lot of CEOs resigning in the wake of Diddy's arrest. Coincidence? September 23. But look at this. The CEO of TD Bank just resigned. We already knew about Nike and Warner Brother, but this one was kind of interesting too. The CEO that used to be on Shark Tank. I know his name is like Rob Herjavec, right? We used to call him Rob, but his name is Robert. But yeah, Robert Herjavec just stepped down on September 25th of Sedaris, which is a cybersecurity focused solution and service provider. So he stepped down this week too. It's a lot going on. Is this just changing of the guard? You guys have seen change of the guard. I told you guys, if you guys would have listened to me in 2022, of August of 2022, as well as in July of 2023, I literally emailed a person that works with P. Diddy. I literally emailed him in July 2023. This is documented, and said that the treaty was turned over to my bloodline and we're changing this entire system. And you guys have been laughing me off and trying to kill me. Not anymore. I wouldn't say not anymore. I think certain people. I think there's factions. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's everybody against me. I think it's just certain factions that just don't like what's going on or don't like me, and then there's others that probably do. And I don't know everything, so I'm not going to act like I do, and I'm not going to act like I truly understand what this is all about or what's going on, because an awakening is for me at least has been gradual, as far as the ability to handle certain amount of information and frequency. For me, it has to be in stages. What happened in 2022, I didn't fully wake up. In July 2023, became more aware, still not fully woken up. It's 2024, more information, more awareness, but still, it has to be gradual, because if someone is just thrown into, the full machinations of what this all is, your mind would break. Anybody's mind would break. You go into like a shock or like a panic. And so that's a reality. And so I can't wait till we get to the part about when I mentioned that the disorganization with the intelligence agencies and stuff. So let's continue to play. That just helps me connect better to the universe. Resignations. What is, yeah, we're looking, but for the better. Like whatever this energy is, it allows for greater expansion, greater growth with this sun and upheaval. Whatever this is, whatever this shakeup is, shakeup. We get a greater. You hear me say? I say the word shakeup. So who else got a shakeup? New York City. Mayor Eric Adams was indicted this week, and I don't think he was arrested though. But I think the indictment was unsealed. Wasn't it yesterday? The indictment was unsealed yesterday. And so when we talk about this shakeup, and so he got caught. I forgot what he got caught doing. It's something with Turkey, taking a bribery from Turkey or something like that. And so they had been doing it, and he's not the only one to do that. They all do that, but the system is completely changing. And again, that's not really the reason. I have to say that I'm the high priestess. I can't get into everything that I know about that. I do know it's 1,000 times more. It really has very little to do with what happened in Turkey, because I mean, as far as the bribe that he took, because if that's the case, all these politicians out. Okay, people were trying to say, it's because of the situation with what was it? Not the immigration. He spoke out on immigration, and then he went against the political machine, and then thereafter, no. It's so many people that speak against immigration. That's not a reason to remove someone. Again, it's deeper. It is much deeper. And let's see. I found. Okay. Yeah. So we have Mayor Eric Adams. So he made his indictment about race, and so he's surrounding himself with these black supporters. Here's the thing. He had brought back stop and frisk. From what I researched, the Black Americans in New York City did not really care for this mayor. And we talking about authentic Black Americans, not like the bourgeoisie class or the class that's a part of the club. That's not what we're talking about. And so, again, this is deeper. As we know, he gave the key to who? P. Diddy. He gave the key to P. Diddy, to the city, and P. Diddy is in custody. And so, 1 second, guys. And so there's speculation, that what if P. Diddy is talking and why he's in custody? I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's that, but I do know it's deeper. It's deeper than the immigration stuff. It's deeper than the P. Diddy stuff, and we should leave it at that. But I don't think it's punishment for disobeying his Democrat masters. I mean, if that's the case, why they not going at? I mean, you have RFK making the moves he's making. It's plenty of people that make the moves they make. Tulsi Gabbard left the Democrats recently, to help with Trump in the debate and all that. So that's why it's deeper. That's all I'll say. And information about it will come out. And so look at this. It says Eric Adams say that he locked his phone before FBI seized it. And he's they're saying this is about bribes and illegal campaign contributions. If that's the case, all of them will be out. Look at this. I'm not even gonna say the sentence, but you're reading it on your screen. And so a lot of like I said, it has nothing to really do with race, because if that's the case, you would see the vast majority of Black Americans stand behind and that are in New York City. This what you see here is very scripted. This is the bourgeoisie class. I am telling you, I did the research. To hear from the voices, like the actual Black Americans in New York City, and the first thing they brought up was stop and frisk, and how he brought over like all of these illegal migrants, and how it messed up New York City, and how he did nothing for them, but they were giving all of this money to illegal immigrants. And so there you have it. Let's see.
First of all, I want to thank you for being here this morning. And I want to thank the supporters of all ethnic groups.
So he is Caribbean, but here's the thing. They're trying to make it seem like, you know, the Democrats have rolled out Black Americans. I'm telling you, they're black. Once the Black Americans have been saying this stuff about him before that bribery, before he spoke out against the machine. This has been going on for a minute, and so, like I said, I don't think for a second that what is being purported is the totality of what's really going on. Okay, so let's continue. Let's go here. Growth. Also, I want to say that there are people on his team that have also resigned or have been charged or indicted, and it looks to be like, I think it was Adam, something with what was his name? Adam. It was not Eric Adams. Eric, was it something with somebody with the last name Raban? Actually, let's see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find it. It's not Eric Adams. It was like the Latino looking guy. He resigned, and then there was a white person that had got also like charged or something like that. And so it's deep. Trying to look forward to see. Let's see if we can see team resign. If we type in team resign, we may get it. Who resigned from Adam? Oh, this is perfect. Look at this. Who resigned from Eric Adams' administration? Okay, so we got Caban, the city's former police commissioner, resigned early in September, 1 week after investigators seized his phone. Caban worked in the commissioner's office in his detail. James Caban. Let's see. And Adam's top legal advisor, Lisa Zornberg, also resigned abruptly around the time. So it's a lot going. This is much deeper. This has nothing to do with him speaking out on some damn illegal immigration. You know, I told you they got black ops programs. I spoke about this on my Twitter page. And they're doing the same thing in Tennessee. Okay. Yeah, it's deeper. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say for now. So let's go. Greater expansion in consciousness, but also growth of our entire planet. Okay. This is interesting. Third party, but there's something with options comes up. Options. And I'm telling you, the spread is a little difficult to interpret because I'm seeing stuff with military that could be possibly like military. Does something happen with military? Or something gets... what is this? So it looks like there may be some pressure or some reorganizing to make sure. Okay, so we do know what happened with Iran and our military this week as it relates. There was something that took place major. And so I think that could have been that way, that we could swing it that angle. But let's continue. Or to make sure that goals and actions are in alignment in major systems. One of them being military or intelligence or... Okay, and so that's where I would say that the Marcus Allen, the whistleblower, comes in. because he was pretty much stating, and we'll go back up here, that the agency is out of control. And so this is where we're talking about like that organization and the disorganization. They have to address the disorganization. So let's continue here. Intelligence. That's the first thing that comes up. I got a feeling people gonna be leaving something, but it's gonna allow for something better to come in. So the resignations come in, but resignations were all last week, but this could be something even more major. Resignations of a major type. This is not just. And so we had got that with, I would say that's Universal Music, David Joseph, but also what the other reservations that we saw this week. It's like a CEO resignation. It's a little bit, it's more major than a CEO resignation, and I could be off on this, but you know, I'm just going with the flow of what I see. Due to distrust or guilt, distrust and guilt comes up. Distrust and guilt. This is public distrust or guilt. Extreme. There's going to be is something. The thing is, again, it balances out towards the end of the week, but the beginning of the week is going to be a little shoddy, I have to say. It's going. Another thing I was saying. Let's see this, because I got a feeling Eric Adams may resign very soon. But look at this. It's kind of like they were calling for him to resign. I just saw that. Like the Democrats are calling for that. So here we go. 22 hours ago. See here, this is what it is. It was. Remember, we said it could be a politician. It says the number of Democrats calling for his resignations keep growing. This is going to be very soon, if not today or tomorrow or early next week. And again, if you guys on a surface level want to leave it at because he spoke out about immigration, that's fine. Because again, we're talking about black op shit, and maybe you shouldn't be privy to that stuff. And it's too difficult for humanity, for Americans rather. To understand what exactly is going on. And so, there we go. Democrats calling for his resignation keeps growing. Okay, so let's keep going. It's going to be a little rough. There'll be a little bit of I would say some people, I'm going to go into individual. I'm going to stay on global for a minute. I'm not going to go into the individual yet. I'm just literally trying to just channel, put all this stuff together. Yeah, so there's an element where the system is overwhelmed by too many choices and need to focus on realistic goals. So there's a little bit of disorganization and procrastination. Pressure to reorganize. So there may be some disorganization, and it needs to be dealt with, or procrastination relating to this could honestly, travel comes up. So guys, be careful with, if you're planning on doing any travel, make sure you give yourself some time. If you can, as far as like, okay, obviously, look at when we say travel, major delays. I had told you guys, I had begged you guys later in this video and an individual to plan accordingly. As we know, we've had Hurricane Helene. There's Charlotte flight delays and cancellations. There's flight delays in Florida. There's flight delays and cancellations in Atlanta. There's flight delays and cancellations everywhere, as you can see it right on your screen. Florida, Atlanta, Charlotte, okay, because of what? Hurricane Helene. There's tracking issues. And these cancellations are growing, even at the Atlanta airport. So I tried to tell you guys that too. if you can do something like a day beforehand or a couple of hours before you got whatever your engagements are, I will say, if you can, there's a lot of disorganization relating to the travel as usual. I don't know what that always comes up. But I'm connected to air energy, so I can see that easily. But also, the disorganization relates to military or intelligence. So that if there's something disorganized, this will be a good week to work on it. And so that may mean there may be some major, like again, this sudden upheaval. Yeah. And so again, there's a lot. So look at this. We got the DA in Colorado resigned today. It's a lot going on. The Walmart mayor resigns yesterday. And so Eric Adams most likely will visit. That's why I'm saying, like, all this stuff that you guys are trying to, he's just more, in New York City is like the Vatican, okay? And so he's just obviously the most famous one. These other mayors are not as, but I'm telling you that this is something much more deeper going on. Okay? Mayor Eric Adams' chief counsel resigns. That was actually 2 weeks ago, so that doesn't count. Vivek DeBroy resigns 9 hours ago. Dr. DeBroy, who was appointed by the Institute, of Politics and Economics. He was just appointed in July. He just resigned. These people, it's deep. There is a spiritual component of this, because you're talking about deals and people walking away. You just saw the CEO of Universal Music resign because he wants to study religion. He's speaking in code. You just heard the FBI whistleblower state, you have to pray with Jesus Christ, go to church. Literally, I mean, this is getting deep. Now, they're speaking to the average American, but there is a change of guard happening. I've warned people about that. And, it'd be better for humanity. I mean, if someone if you didn't do anything wrong, you didn't have anything to hide, I mean, what you know what I mean? And so, yeah, it is what it is. That's what I say. Look at this. Mm-hmm. Well, another thing that we see is like somebody leaving a company or somebody leaving something major. There's some resignations, but this is a bit more than just what happened this week. This is a little bit more global. Like, this is something that kind of is like, what? Huh? Mm-hmm. Oh shit. That type of thing. And I wonder if this is in government. American. Yeah, it's going. I'm telling you, it's going to be Mayor Adams. But you just saw us go through all these political. There's a lot of politicians that's going to resign. Look at just DA in Colorado resign. Top 8 resigns from Battle, North Carolina candidate. Okay, that one's a little old. But the mayor, Walmart Mayor Greg Holland, resigned on Wednesday. I got a feeling that Mayor Eric Adams is going to resign either today, tomorrow, or definitely early next week. I'm not saying I want that. I'm just saying, like, it's something going on. Look at the Board of Regents vice chair resigns yesterday. People got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. But I think it's that CEO of Universal Music was put on by Lucien Grange. I would say it's more so him. He was the one that was kind of like, huh? Or you could look at it as CEO of TD Bank resigned too. Government, American government or military. I don't know what the hell that's about. Why does that come up? I have to say, this is one of a harder spread, and I feel like it's like the universe challenging me to a degree. But there is an upsetting crisis that allows for more freedom and authenticity that's going to take place. That I have to say. And there's some unplanned changes, but they're beneficial though. And then there's this facing of the truth, no matter how painful. And we have a woman in the mix, this Queen of Wands, So I wonder if there's a female that's going to be resigning, or a female, something with a female that has this major changes or something, or drops out, or somebody that drops out of something. And then it's the energy is like whatever systems mean well, they haven't been delivering as promised. This is a chance to sort of work on moving forward in creative pursuits with organization, being more organized. Yeah, I got a feeling it could be a female resigning. There's something with a female, or men, but there's something major shakeups. So we'll see. Let's see, I'm gonna put that in here. So female resign. Now I want to go to individual. Okay. I want to see if I can see anything that's more beneficial. Whatever the changes are, though, whatever the sudden upheaval, it does lead to, I'm telling you, it does lead to greater alliance and a greater growth, whatever this energy is. But it's not without challenge. Again, you see there's a lot of distrust. You see that there's some anxiety and guilt, wishing to turn back time. And so it'll work itself out. It'll work itself out, but it's interesting. I wouldn't be shocked if there's some sudden crisis that comes up this week. But again, to get through the dark night, there's so much to grow. A lot of times there's a catalyst, or there's a challenge, and so that's how I would look at it. It's more of a challenge, but it does look like whatever this crisis is, it allows for an expansion of growth for the entire country. And so in that sense, it'll be interesting to see what it is. Again, I'm getting possible resignation of someone major. Could be a male, could be a female, or a shakeup in relation to the disorganization and procrastination of certain systems. One being travel, then the other one being military, possible intelligence agencies. Something major. It could be a government official that resigns. But it's something major. It's a shakeup. So that could be something, even exposure of something. But whatever it is, it allows for greater alliance, and it will work itself out. But we have to make sure that. Okay, so there was a female that there's organization. There was a what female. I'm seeing is there may be too many choices or overwhelmed by something. Okay, so there was a female that had resigned this week. On September 25th, the CEO of North Point, she stepped down from the North Point Behavioral Health System, which is effective September 30th. Yeah. And so you see that. It's getting real, guys. It's getting real. So let's look for this week's reading. I do have to say I won't be doing any global events for next week, only because I literally only got 2 hours of sleep. There was like the massive, it was like a lot of rain. It was a lot of rain, and so like it just kept me up because of like the wind. It was so much wind, and then it was just a lot going on last night. And so I literally didn't go to bed till like I went to bed at like 5 a.m. Slept for 2 hours at 7 and just couldn't go back to sleep. I think I might have got like an extra hour in, and then I just couldn't sleep. That's a balancing thing that happens. It is what it is. But I literally only got 2 hours, and it's kind of just been kind of like that the whole week. And so my energy is not conducive to doing any. I would say any large scale like a global event in terms of how we normally do. And so we probably won't do a review next week. We'll probably just get straight in because we're going to just do an individual one. Normally I love to do the love to do the global. Now if something global pops up and I just can't ignore it, then I'll say it, but I'm not going to be actively. There's different steps to take to see global versus individual, and for 2 hours of sleep, I don't want to do that today. We could do it next week when my sleeping schedule gets a bit better, and I'm trying to work on that. It's just a balancing that I noticed. This whole week, my sleep schedule just fucked up. It really has. And I think that's by design. I know it's a situation where they, we talk about the stuff that I'm dealing with and how sleep deprivation, how certain things can happen where someone tries, where, how do I say this? If I'm not purposely trying to be sleep deprived or deal with sleep deprivation, but I'm getting like 2 hours or 3 hours of sleep for like literally this whole week, then you read between the lines in lieu of everything that and everything that I've told you. For those who understand what's going on, and so people be folks fuck with you. It is what it is. On a spiritual realm, I've been dealing with a lot of occult rituals. Like I've been dealing with spiritual attack rituals. That's what I'm saying. And so it's been fucking with my sleep, and that's what it's designed to do. Sleep deprivation is real, and so what have you. You know me, I don't give up to the last breath. I'm like, if you're gonna do it, and God allows it, then do it. And I'll still be fighting on whatever other side, however if we need me. I'll never give up, ever. And so, I'm just dealing with more spiritual attacks lately. Oh, it looks like it's gonna be a good week though, for the most part, for you guys, and so that's great. So let me get the spread ready for you. You know what? Maybe I should fight through it and just do the global, because a lot of times that's what this stuff is designed to do, to kind of shut you down, as far as my sleep deprivation that I've been getting. That's like what they want. Like, who actually wants people to know these type of things, or that this stuff exists, or just the way that for people to prepare. So actually I am going to fight through it. Sure am. That makes you stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Okay, so we see this week's events. Let me get the links up just in case I want to start to write down in advance. You know what I mean? Of what we can look forward to. Let me just study it a little bit more. I'm sure you guys can see it. I'm sure it's important. I need to get down. I don't want to spend such a long time on this. Hi guys. I don't remember turkey jerky ever being that good. Ever. I was like, this actually tastes. Because what I think what happens is, that you experiment with certain things. Like, you remember when the gluten-free stuff started to come out, like the gluten-free cookies and the gluten-free. That shit used to be so nasty when gluten-free stuff started, when it first came out. And it's like the wizardry, like they perfected the taste of certain things without gluten now. Like gluten-free cupcakes or gluten-free bread. Rudy's has the best gluten-free bread, by the way. When I say I'm trying to find the perfect wheat-free bread, I went through so many different brands, man. So many. I would say like this month alone, I want to say like at least 4 to 5 different brands. And we talking about that bread is expensive. It's about $10 for a loaf. These different brands that I was buying, but I said, okay, maybe that it's going to taste so good. I'm telling you, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. We have five brands this month. $50 for bread, because all the breads are like $10. When they want no chemicals, no GMO, organic, all this shit, and no weed, and all, the least amount of chemicals in this bread that I've been looking for. And Rudy's, man, oh, shout out to Rudy's. That is the best bread. I mean, and I'm asking if you guys don't have come up with hot dog bun, you guys have come up with a hot dog bun. You probably already have it, but if Rudy's can come up with a hot dog bun, that would be great. But Rudy's has been the best. Share, nope. Man, it's been a bunch. I can't even remember the names because I just kept going. I literally was like throwing because it was like some of it was just terrible. I threw a whole loaf away. But yeah, gluten-free bread. But so I think they got better with the turkey jerky stuff, because I remember when I bought turkey jerky years ago, it did not taste it. It was bad, and so I guess they figured out a formulation to perfect the taste, and they've been doing that with things. Just like how they perfected the taste of dandelion dark roast, like that has improved remarkably from when it first came out. But let me shut up and let's get to the you know I'm long-winded. Okay, let's see. I gotta feel. Okay, I'll say this. Somebody go. There's some issues with potential backstabbing on a global scale. The first thing I get is backstabbing, possible death of someone, backstabbing. But it gets better throughout the week. That's like the only global thing that I see. It's a backstabbing of some sort. A backstabbing on a global scale. This could be someone talking. Someone talking to save themselves. It's the first thing that I get. Something out of like the first thing is like selfishness or somebody's trying to save themselves. Somebody saves themselves. Saves themselves. That's the global thing. I'm trying to see if I can find anything that was like more helpful for humanity. You know what I mean? On an individual level, I can tell you're gonna have a great week. That I can see, but I'm just saying, like globally, that was the first thing that spoke up that came out. Let's see. Then I can get something more. Yeah, somebody's gonna stick up for themselves. They're gonna lose some relationships. Now, that could be on an individual level. You have to be careful. Like, I won't say be careful, but like this week is a good week to stand up for yourself. But another approach, you may want to practice self-preservation. Sticking up for yourself at the expense of losing relationships. You know. We see finding there's going to be, this is the darkest hour before the dawn, so there's going to be an event where, let's see, the thing is rock bottom, darkness before the dawn. But here's the thing, there's nowhere to go but up. It could be a woman that does the backstabbing, or she is backstabbed. I'm trying to see if this relates to politics or business. Okay, and this is whatever this backstabbing is, or whatever this is, or throwing someone under the bus or saving themselves, is to improve their pictures, to improve their situation. It can also be something that has to deal with relocation, of someone relocating. As far as like globally. Now let's get into the individual, because that's what let's see what the individual is for. Yeah, early in the week, you know, it may be a little sluggish. Oh, also for global, I got a feeling that someone major going to die again. And this is, if that is true, then they were definitely backstabbed. Like if somebody's major is going to die. I hope that's not true. I don't want that to be true. I'm not trying to that I'm not script writing. I'm not trying to script like that. That's just the first thing that came up when I saw that. Now let's look for the individual. I have to say, this is a good time to practice self-preservation and to put your happiness first. Yeah. If you were trying to go for like any promotions to improve your financial picture, this is a good week to do that. Any sort of like applications or anything that you're filling out, this is a really good week for that. Some of you may if you start to feel in the beginning of the week like victimized or helpless to an extent, you know, just know that There's nowhere to go but up. Like, don't be, if you find yourself being melodramatic, try to be aware of it. Like, if you feel like you're in a losing situation, just know that you don't want to over dramatize defeat this week. Okay. Also, if you have anything to do with, sorry guys, I just took this nasal spray. I feel like this person that I'm living with trying to poison me. I ain't gonna hold you. Oof. Really? Yeah. If you have, for if you're in a business and you have any sort of like sales campaigns that you wanted to do, this is a really good week to do that. Anything with social media, that's good. Any messages you want to get out on social media, any advertising that you want to do on social media, any sales campaigns, any of that, that is good to do. So a lot of you are going to be feeling more confident. And so that's another thing that I see for the individual. Many of you, if you're planning a vacation or you're planning to travel, planning for that is good this week, but also actually doing it this is also a good week for any sort of vacation that you guys can have. Like, say if you are on vacation, you will have a very, very great time. But again, that beginning of this week you might feel a little rough, might feel just a little lethargic, or you may feel in a situation where, it's like a lose-lose thing. So it could be like a small event. I'm hoping that I have to say it feels small. Like, oh my gosh, like something didn't go through. This could be somebody canceled a plan on you, or you realize that someone is being selfish or ego. If you're dealing with someone that is selfish or egoic, make sure you cut them out. Ignore them. Practice your self-preservation. And consciously apply logic to maintain that happiness. That's another thing that I get. Practice, that not just emotional self-awareness, but the more logical aspects of the self-awareness, like the logical steps to maintain your vibration, the logical steps to get you from point A to point B on a higher level. Okay, so that's another thing that I get. What's this? Many of you if you were trying to think of a new job opportunity or any sort of internship or schooling, this is a good week for any sort of applying of that nature as well. It's like a slow movement. It's not stagnated though. It's more of like slow, but it's fulfilling still. That's the energy that I get. And it's a week that's focused on material possessions. And so by that I mean it's like this focus on money, like this focus on, I don't want to say in a stingy way, but in a way of responsibility. So we may even see something come up with policies around fiscal responsibility. That's another global event that just pops up. Global something with fiscal responsibility. That's another thing that just popped up. That's good. But yes, for individual, that's also something you may be thinking of, like, oh, how do I be more responsible this week with my finances, or with with bills, or with time, with deadlines. You may want to consciously think about that as well, like conscious responsibility of those things, or your responsibilities. Only you know what that is, but your responsibilities in a way that, and the way you create efficiency around that leads to fulfillment. But I do have to say that the energy is slow, because there is a thinking, a planning process. The last thing I see is, a lot of people, they're going to be demanding, like, say if you're in a relationship, you may be demanding like more clarification and honesty this week, or decisiveness of your partner, decisiveness of your team. So if you have a team or a partner and you know that you need more clarification, you need more honesty, you need people to speak up, you need like this is the week where you want to call that out and you want to do that. Another thing is for humanity, many of you are going to be getting a wake-up call to see the truth of a situation next week, sorry. And that is for September 27th through October 4th. Okay? So many people are going to be getting a wake-up call to see the truth. September 27th to October 4th. Okay? Yeah, that's the energy that I get. Also, if you need to, like, again, when we talk about the self-preservation, if you need to tap into like a spiritual retreat or moving beyond the ego to tap into more spiritual ideas, that this is a good time to do that too this week. As far as the energy and the capitalization off of that energy, it's the energy of one in which it's moving. It's like this slow fulfillment. You know, self-preservation to maintain your frequency, your happiness, your inner peace. After that little hiccup in the beginning. So that's what I see. And so that is very interesting. And so we'll be back next week. That will be October 4th. We'll be back and we'll do the review. So I did do a couple of global events, even though I'm literally operating on like 2 hours of sleep. So yes, that's it. I hope nobody gets backstabbed. You know, I don't want anybody, but it does feel like that. They were definitely backstabbed. If someone major is going to die, I hope that's not the case either. Okay, so I'll see you guys next week. Have a great weekend. Love you. Bye.